All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of the mobile world, going way beyond just the latest phones to really uncover what's happening just beneath the surface. And trust me, there are some huge complexities and even bigger opportunities brewing.
So let me ask you a question. When you think mobile, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For pretty much everyone, it's a battle between these two, right? A world that's basically defined by iOS and Android? Then hey, you're not wrong to think that. I mean, if you look at the basic top-level numbers for 2025, the global market share seems to tell that exact story. You've got Android with a huge slice of the pie, and iOS with the rest. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. The truth is, that simple view is kinda like only seeing the tip of the iceberg. It's just not the whole picture anymore. It's actually outdated. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This is the more accurate picture. When you actually break it down, you see the mobile market is way more fragmented. You've got the standard Google-powered Android, sure, and iOS, but you've also got AOSP, the open source version, plus the fast-growing HarmonyOS, and a few others. All of a sudden, it's not a two-horse race at all. And we're not talking about some tiny little niche here. We are talking about more than 2 billion devices. That is a colossal market, a whole population of users that simple two-sided view just completely misses. And that leads us to the core problem. This new, way more complex market is completely breaking the old way we used to build apps. It just doesn't work anymore. Think about it like this. Trying to build a separate native app for each of these platforms, it's like deciding you want to build a house and then hiring different architects and different construction crews to build the exact same house multiple times right next to each other. It's just fundamentally inefficient. And this slide really breaks down the real-world pain of that approach. You have totally separate teams writing completely separate code. That means every new feature gets built twice. Every bug has to be fixed twice. And what's the impact? Well, your costs go through the roof, it takes forever to get to market, the user experience starts to drift apart on different phones, and you're just wasting brilliant talent on doing the same work over and over again. And look, this isn't just a theory. Listen to this from a startup founder who actually lived through this. He calls it a nightmare. You can just feel the pain in that quote, right? Watching your own products drift apart, doubling your work, doubling your complexity. For a small company, that's not just inefficient, it can be a death sentence. But all that frustration, it actually led to a solution. There is a much better way. All that pain from the old model has really fueled a revolution. The rise of really mature, really powerful cross-platform frameworks. And the number one benefit is just staggering. Teams that make the switch to a cross-platform approach, they report on average a productivity gain of over 30%. That's not a little tweak. That's a fundamental change in the entire economics of building apps. This chart shows you what that 30% actually looks like in the real world. So to support 3 platforms, Company A, doing it the native way, needs 30 developers. But Company B, the cross-platform one, they get the exact same result with a team that's almost half the size, 46% smaller. They can build faster, with fewer people, which frees up their best talent to actually innovate. The advantages are just so clear. You get features out the door faster, releases and bug fixes are streamlined, and you can guarantee every single user gets a consistent experience. And just look at Shopify. I mean, a global e-commerce giant. After they switched, they now share a whopping 86% of their code between platforms. This is a proven strategy, working at the highest possible level. But, the story doesn't end there. As powerful as this whole revolution is, even these cross-platform frameworks aren't a silver bullet. They still have their own challenges, their own lingering gaps. So here's the catch. Most of these frameworks are still really focused on just standard Android and iOS. They kind of leave those other 2 billion devices out in the cold. Plus, they tend to lock you into using the default services for things like maps or payments. If you want to use something else, you often have to go back and write custom native code, which totally breaks that write once, run everywhere promise. And this is where the ultimate vision starts to come into focus. There's a new initiative out there that's tackling these final hurdles, and it's aiming for a truly open future for how we all build mobile apps. It's called the Open Mobile Hub, or OMH. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a universal power adapter for your apps. When you travel and you need a different plug for every single country, it's a pain. Well, OMH is like that one adapter that just works everywhere for every platform and every service, completely seamlessly. Let's just walk through a really simple example with a map. Your app needs to show a map, so it makes just one, simple call to OMH. OMH is smart enough to detect the device, figure out what map services are available, whether that's Google Maps or OpenStreetMap or something else entirely. Then it automatically sends the request to the right service, and boom, the correct map just appears. The developer only had to write that code one time.
And this idea has some serious industry muscle behind it. A VP of engineering at a major European car company put it perfectly. He said a unified set of APIs promises to slash costs and complexity. For developers, that is an absolute game changer.
Okay, so after all of that, what does this bigger, more open vision of the mobile world actually mean for you, depending on where you sit in this whole ecosystem? Well, here's the path forward. If you're a developer, it means it's time to really explore cross-platform and maybe even get involved in open source. If you're a service provider or a device maker, it means investing in tools that open up your products to more developers. And for the big guys, the platform vendors, the message is clear. Embrace open standards. Compete on how good your product is, not by locking people in.
When you put it all together, what it really means is that the future of mobile isn't about being stuck in one or two walled gardens. It's about being cross-platform. It's about embracing open source. And most importantly, it's about empowering everyone, from the developer to the end user, with real, actual choice.
The technology is here. The business case is solid. And the community is growing every single day. The future of mobile is wide open. So the only real question left is, are you ready to build for it?